I really, really like this camera. It's a well thought out camera in terms of features and usability and some really clever stuff it does. For the good stuff, to start with, it is a fully mechanical camera, which means there's no batteries that can go out. It also means there's no electronics that can break. And it's also a fully manual camera because of this. So it gives you all the control to mess up your shots and to take brilliant shots. But to be quite honest, with my skill level, it's going to be messing up my shots more than anything. After its mechanicalness, it has a really, really nice viewfinder to use. You just flick it open and just look straight down into it. And it's got a lovely, clear viewing screen. You even have this little magnifier you can pop up to double check your focus. And looking through the viewing screen on something like this is just spectacular, or any medium format camera really, but this in particular has a really, really nice viewing screen with the waist level finder. Now when it comes to the RB, you have to talk about its party piece, the rotating back. So this is a 6x7 camera, the clue's in the name, the RB67. RB stands for rotating back. So by default it shoots a landscape 6x7, but if you grab the back and turn it 90 degrees, it will now shoot a portrait orientation 6x7. And this is actually really, really, really useful when you're out shooting. It means you can switch between landscape and portrait without having to rotate the camera. And it's so useful to be able to do that. Like, you can't even describe how convenient the rotating back is. It's honestly just such a good idea. The next really good feature on this camera is, of course, the bellows focusing system. And the advantage of something like this is that you can actually focus really, really close. Okay, so that's in focus there. So I'm able to focus this distance, about a foot in front of the lens, with a 60mm equivalent, which honestly isn't half bad, particularly because this is a medium format lens. Speaking of lenses, you have this one, which is a KL series lens, and this is a 127mm f3.5, which is the equivalent of around an f2-ish 60mm, kind of on a 35mm camera. But this is the KL series lens, which is one of the last lenses they made for the RB. Before that, I think there's a Secor C, and there's a bunch of other variants. You do need to look into this and research them, but they should all work. I believe there's some differences between this, which is the Pro S body. The Pro SD has like a slightly different barrel fit. There's like adapters and stuff. You may Google all that yourself. I'm not going through it right now. But of course, this is also a system camera, which means that it comes with all the advantages of a system camera, such as the ability to change out the viewfinders. Obviously, you can change the lens. You can take the back off and have a next second back ready to go. And it comes with all the features of a system camera, which when you're out shooting medium format film is actually really, really nice to be able to do these things. So overall, this camera has a lot of positives. That rotating back, the beautiful viewfinder, the bellows focusing, the ability to swap backs. It's just all there, and of course it has a huge range of lenses, from quite cheap lenses to the newer, more expensive ones. It has everything you could want. Mostly. There are a few downsides to using this camera, however. And the biggest downside of all is the size and the weight. This thing is enormous, and it's actually heavy enough that it's actually hurting my elbow a little bit propping it up like this. It's over 2 kilos in weight. It's such a beast of a camera. And it's actually so big, it won't fit in my small backpack. So I have to use my big backpack if I ever want to take this out anywhere to shoot on location. Another disadvantage for this, and this is a really personal disadvantage, is if I grab some negatives, the negatives only fit in pairs of 2 on this particular filing sheet I use. And I have to put 5 pieces of 2, which means either 2 sheets or putting 2 negatives in 1 slot, which I don't like doing. It's a stupid complaint. Even still, I really like the results this thing provides. You know, this is some slide film and it just looks fantastic. And that is why, unfortunately, I'm going to be selling the Mamiya RB. I just don't want to haul it around anywhere. Of course, there is some other reasons. This, I actually looked into buying a Bronica kit secondhand. I got another lens, more backs, a winder, a prism finder, which has auto exposure modes. So now I have a full Bronica kit. I'd have to build out the Mamiya kit. And to be quite honest, I'm just not bothered, considering that I like the Bronica more than the Mamiya overall. So I am going to sell this camera within the next week, and I think I need to give it a good send off. So I picked up some Velvia 50, grab our tripod, take this out and go shoot some landscapes.